Today, we take a look at the 350 round trip. The 350 route runs from the Escondido Transit Center to the Del Lago Transit Center via Escondido Boulevard. To begin, we'll start at the Escondido Transit Center and run southbound. Begin install number 4. As you pull out, check your mirrors for buses approaching from the left or stragglers on the right. Escondido Transit Center is a busy center with lots of traffic. Maintain a safe speed of 5 miles per hour and stop at all crosswalks. As you leave the center, make a right on Quince. Be sure to look left, right, then left again before you pull out. Rock and roll to clear your blind spots, and watch your mirrors to be sure your right rear tire will clear the curb. This is West Valley Parkway. Continue straight, then merge left. We'll be making a left turn on 2nd Avenue. This second light is grand, keep going. This third light is your turn. Turn left on 2nd Avenue. Continue straight. Cross over Center City Parkway. Now, travel 2 blocks before making a right turn on Escondido Boulevard. The speed limit along here is 30 miles per hour. You are now crossing South Orange Avenue. As you approach the intersection, begin scanning for any possible hazards. Light poles, cars, look for pedestrians or bicyclists. Pull into the intersection, and when your shoulder is even with the right curve, begin turning the bus to the right onto South Escondido Avenue, using the push-pull method. Steering through the intersection at 3 to 5 miles per hour will give you more room and allow you time to react if another vehicle enters the intersection. Notice a lane is merging to the center just past 5th Avenue. And be sure to service this bus stop on the right here. Escondido Boulevard is now 1 lane each direction. Be aware that this whole lane is a bike lane. Let's skip ahead. We are approaching the 15th Street intersection. After 15th Street, Escondido Boulevard turns back into 2 lanes. Now move to the right to service this stop. This part of Escondido Boulevard is part of the historic 395. Also, after crossing 15th Street, begin looking for the Escondido Boulevard Felicita time point. And here is the time point. We are now crossing Felicita, so begin to prepare for the left turn onto Sunset. We do have some police activity up ahead here. Turn on your left flasher, check all mirrors for any traffic approaching from the rear. Begin to merge in the left lane. Always give the PD plenty of room. In fact, it is required that we get out of their lane if at all possible, and if not, reduce your speed. Watch for their vehicles in your right mirror before merging back. Actually, our left turn onto Sunset is coming up, so let's go ahead and stay left. This is a 5-point intersection. Notice the turn arrow painted on the street is indicating that you have 2 left turn options. Those options are Vermont and Sunset. Normally, we would cut out this red light, but let's just sit here for a moment to see how the traffic flows through and to let you get familiar with the intersection. The first left turn option is Vermont. Don't turn there. The second is Sunset. This is our turn. Also, note that there's a bus stop to the right. Sunset is a narrow 2-lane road that routes through this quiet neighborhood. Try to be a good neighbor. Keep your speed down. This 25-mile turn coming up is a challenge. There's a bit of a shoulder to the right if you absolutely need to get over. But unless someone forces you, just stay in your lanes. Good job making that turn. We'll jump ahead to Bear Valley. Notice Bear Valley is 1 lane each way until we approach the Las Palmas intersection. Then it turns into 2 lanes with the Bear Valley Middle School on the right. Watch your speed. The speed limit is 25 miles per hour through the school zone. There's also a senior community on the other side of the street to the left. Be careful around schools and senior centers where there are a lot of people milling around. The elderly are slower, so you have to watch out for them. And children are a special risk because they don't always look before going into the street. And if they do look, they're not as good at judging a vehicle's speed. It helps to tap your horn and establish eye contact with pedestrians to make sure they know that you are there. You also need to cover your brakes when pedestrians are nearby. This reduces your reaction time and stopping distance if you have to stop quickly. This is Kit Carson Park on the right, and here is the Bear Valley Kit Carson time point. We are approaching our right turn on Beethoven. There's not a good landmark for this turn. Just know that it is coming up after the Kit Carson time point, and look for the turn-only lane and the stoplight. This big bus stop services the North County Fair Mall and is a transfer point for the MTS bus lines. Continue straight on Beethoven. If a customer attempts to board without the proper fare or with an invalid pass, the operator can request the appropriate fare once. and only once. Then allow the customer to board. Operators will not engage in fare disputes. The operator will not attempt to confront, deny service to, or eject any passenger from a coach due to a fare dispute. If a customer makes a habit of providing insufficient or no fare, the operator should contact the dispatcher, push the event button, and continue in service unless otherwise instructed. Operators are to make a reasonable attempt to collect the proper fares and valid transfers. A polite request or reminder should always be the approach. If the customer has no fare, politely tell them they may ride this time, but please have the appropriate fare the next time. Always give your customers the benefit of the doubt. We are passing over the 15 freeway now, and Beethoven turns into Del Lago Drive. Now, just head down the road for a bit and make a left turn at Avenida Margoria. We are turning into the Del Lago Transit Center. Watch for the Do Not Enter sign to turn left into the stall. I just turned into the parking lot by mistake, and I actually did make this wrong turn the first time I came to Del Lago. So be aware. Let's try it again. Here is the Do Not Enter sign. Turn left here after the crosswalk. Follow the transit center around to this stall. It is not numbered, but this is the stall we use for the 350. Okay, let's go ahead and retrace our steps back to the Escondido Transit Center, heading northbound. Proceed out of the Del Lago station, make a right from Avenida Margoria onto Del Lago. Be in this lane to cross the freeway. Those are the diamond lanes connecting to the 15 freeway to our right and left. Continue on Beethoven. Be in the right-hand turn lane to make your left back onto Villa Rancho Parkway, which will turn into Bear Valley. This is San Pasqual High School on the right. And here is the Bear Valley Kit Carson time point. We'll skip ahead. We are back in that 25-mile zone. We have the Classic Academy and a senior community on the right, and Bear Valley Middle School on the left. Once we pass the school and the Las Palmas light, the road turns into a single lane again, and we know now that the next light will be our left turn onto Sunset Drive. Make the left onto Sunset and continue ahead. We are approaching that 25-mile turn on Sunset. Let's let this bus show us how to maneuver the turn. He is doing a good job of staying in his lanes as he approaches a turn. He seems to be slowing down as he enters the curve, tapped its brakes. An oversized truck passes him in the opposite direction, going too fast. I would say this driver did an excellent job of staying in his lane. His right rear tire just grazed the white line. If you're wondering what those blurry spots are, that is raindrops on the camera lens. We're about to get rained out here in a moment. The bus is servicing the stop before the intersection. This is a fairly busy stop. When the light turns green and you begin to make your right turn, that green light gives you the go-ahead to complete the turn. See how, as you turn, you are faced with the red light at Vermont? Just keep going. Let's take another look at that intersection. We enter the intersection on a green light. But as we make the turn, the red light appears halfway into your turn. Do you stop? No. Keep going. That light is actually signaling to the cars traveling north on Escondido Boulevard behind you. It can be confusing. As we head north on Escondido Boulevard, remember your triple LCs. Look ahead, look around, leave room, communicate. Leave room. Always drive with an escape route available in case a sudden hazard develops in front or near you. The simplest way to do this is to drive with plenty of space in front of you. The more space you have, the better. You can react and stop if necessary. Do not allow yourself to be boxed in. It could mean the difference between a collision and a safe trip. What, you may ask, do I do about the drivers that will invariably cut into my space? The first thing to remember is, it's not your space. The second thing to remember is that you are the professional, and he is probably not. The third thing is, don't take it personally. See, he just needed to make a turn into the gas station. He wasn't trying to cut you off. And he used his blinker. This bus is making a stop at the Escondido Boulevard Felicita time stop. Check your mirror, activate the left turn signal, merge into the left lane. Signal to move back into the right lane, and merge once you can see the bus's headlights in your mirror. Now let's jump ahead. We are back at 2nd Avenue again, but continue straight across the intersection. Continue straight across Grand Avenue and begin to merge left, now for the left turn onto Valley Parkway. We have a big left-hand turn coming up at Valley Parkway. As you enter the intersection, slow to a coast and cover the brake in anticipation of stopping. The bus should be moving at no more than 3 to 5 miles per hour, and there should be no reason to have to accelerate through the intersection. By keeping your upper body and your eyes moving, you will have a clear view of what's happening all around your vehicle. Keep the bus parallel with the crosswalk that you will be turning into. Begin to turn at the pivot point. That is, when your shoulder is even with the center of the intersection. Turn the vehicle sharply left, following a 90-degree angle until the bus is fully facing the crosswalk. You now have the widest, clearest view of the crosswalk. Just stop in the street if you need to service the stop, but be sure to tap your brakes and activate the flashers. Watch your mirrors. Be aware of everything around you. Now proceed on Valley Parkway and get into this bus-only lane. It will position you to enter the transit center. Cross Center City. Cross Quince and merge into the center. MV was founded in 1975 in San Francisco, originally to give transportation to the elderly and disabled. They did this because they thought it was the right thing to do for members of the community who seemed to be forgotten. This commitment to people remains firmly in place throughout MV today. People come first, always, and that means providing the right transportation services at the right time and at the right price. Congratulations, you have just completed the 350 Route Roundtrip. MV thanks you for your service.